Previously, on Realms and Nerds, the Vassanoka Adventures. I have disadvantage because I'm wearing scale mail, because I didn't think that I would be doing a lot of stealthy stuff.
I say we go through Murdog. That's where my mother's from, and they should grant us safe passage.
Llew takes this torch, which he has sharpened the bottom of, and plunges it through the vampire's back into its heart, and the vampire freezes exactly where he is. Alright, so when we left off last, you guys had literally just stuck the end of a torch that had been shaved into a spike through the back of this vampire, into its heart, and it has entered a state of paralysis.
Excuse me, by you guys, I believe you mean Llew, the hero of this story.
So, night has fallen on you at this point. It's pitch black out. All you guys have is...
Piss blackout?
Yeah, I was going to say, did you say pitch black or piss black? Because
Sure,
piss black is something you should probably check into the hospital about.
Oh, God.
It is pitch black out. All you guys have is your torch for torchlight. Are you guys gonna camp here for the night? Are you gonna just leave this vampire and continue on, or what are you guys planning on doing?
Will stabbing it through the heart more times kill it? Or will that not really do much?
Well, I say we leave it for the sun to kill.
Maybe we ought to restrain him, that way he can't get away in case he becomes unfrozen.
Anyone got any rope?
Yes, I believe Ben had some.
Yes, I do have 50 feet of hempen rope.
Very specific.
Well, I pack my own tools. I think I know what I bring.
Well, everyone knows that vampires are allergic to hemp.
Huh. Here I thought it was garlic. Guess I was wrong.
Something akin to that.
So what's the party gonna do?
I guess we're tying him to a tree. Or something.
I don't know.
I think we tie him to a tree so that he can't get away.
You still have this stake in his back?
I say we leave the stake
and
burn in the morning.
Okay. So
Fucker
stake
wants
in
to
the
take
back,
Control D.
you go to this big tree right off to the side of the Builder's Road, and how much rope are you going to provide for them?
Am I going to get this rope back?
If you plan on leaving him here, then
that's
probably
true.
not.
Well, no, but
I don't know.
We're going to spend the night here. So we can just tie him up, and in the morning after he fries, we can get your rope back.
There you go.
That's true. But just to be safe, in case something happens and I don't get it back, we'll just use enough to, tie it around the tree a few times. Enough so that we know that he's secure in there.
Okay.
Even if that takes all 50, I guess. I don't know how big the tree is and how many times that would require wrapping around.
Nearby, we tie his ass to that thing securely.
Then we set the tree on fire with tinder boxes.
I guess if you guys
burn them at the stake.
If you guys are planning on staying here, you might as well just
sure. You know what? Rope. You know what? Screw it. I'll use all the rope. Can't wait till we need it later and I don't have it, but okay.
Llew is out a torch now, because I don't think he's going to get this torch that's stuck to this vampire back, at least not until he fries. So what are you guys planning on doing for the night?
Tying the vampire to the tree?
Yes, that's already done.
Oh, okay.
Krohl will keep watch on him because he doesn't need to sleep.
Okay, so you're just going to sit there and stare at this vampire.
I'll give him the Ghost Rider stare.
Llew, are you ready for an actual good night of sleep for once?
I don't know what you mean. I sleep wonderfully every night. Although, I can't imagine that I'll sleep particularly well with that creature so close.
Don't worry about it. I don't have to sleep. I can keep an eye on him all night.
You don't usually sleep so well with a creature so close to you.
Well, Ben, that's an entirely different situation.
Ben, how do you happen to know this?
I work for him.
And how do you know he's not asleep in that bedroom?
We'll just say that it's fairly easy to inference given his habits.
All right, then.
Alright, you guys gonna start fire?
Yes, we're gonna set the tree on fire and use it as a bonfire.
There you go.
Actually, no, that burnt the rope.
We'd probably wind up getting attacked by another freaking end.
Right, so I have 8 torches in my pack, right?
10.
Is it 10 torches?
10
Joe?
torches total.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've currently got 9, and I'm assuming you do as well.
Right.
But yeah, Ben's down for making a campfire.
Okay. You're just gonna walk off into the woods off the side of the road? Just gonna build a fire right on the road? What are you thinking?
Is there any spots that look a little bit more secure, I guess, in the woods? Like, there isn't, like, a ton of underbrush really close to them, so we can kind of be, like nobody will be able to sneak up on us?
Yeah, you know, now that you mentioned, there's a safe house about a block down the road.
Roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
If only.
It's a 12.
Off to your right, you see an area where there's a small path leading back into a small clearing. I mean, just the trees are a little further apart, and the underbrush has more or less kind of been moved away over there. You actually see what may have looked like a previous campsite for other adventurers.
I say we set up camp over there. That looks to be fairly secure, and maybe a campsite has been here before?
I agree. That seems like a fairly safe bet.
Yeah, I'll go along with it.
So who's gonna look for some firewood?
Ben
Survival.
gets an 11.
You find, like, a few small logs.
Fair enough.
Alright. I rolled a 15 on survival. I'm just gonna, like, pick up some smaller sticks.
He
to
fucking
do, like,
hacks down a tree.
I'm gonna try to pick up some smaller stuff to use, like, as kindling and things like that.
Yeah, I think that you probably are able to, get a good bit of kindling. I mean, it's not big stuff, but it definitely, you have, like, a small armful.
I don't want to feel left out.
Krohl's standing there awkwardly.
I got a 14.
You're able to find, like, a really big, pretty thick log. If you want, you can chop it up into a...
Krohl doesn't understand how fires work, so he brings a 6-foot log and expects you to set it in the fire pit.
There you go, boys!
I think we'll be set for the night.
And then I just need one of you guys to roll a survival check to start a fire.
Ben got a 17.
Ben is master fire maker, in fact. He gets a nice big bonfire going.
And doesn't set a forest on fire.
And he doesn't set the forest on fire.
It's really a change of pace for RJ.
Yeah, I know, right?
Smokey the Bear can finally be proud of me.
Smokey the Bear can finally rest at ease.
He can finally rest in peace. What'd you do to Smokey?
So, Llew and Ben are sitting around the campfire, and I guess Krohl is over by the Builder's Road staring at this vampire.
Staring into his soul.
Who is tied up next to the road. He's just kind of...
So, you think it's funny to take control of me, eh? How does it feel being tied to a tree and not be able to do anything, eh?
Rocky arm just like up and flips you off.
I just see Krohl like throwing little pebbles at the body all night. Like,
You know what? Krohl is doing that. He's finding little pebbles all over, just chucking them at the freaking vampire.
Great.
You will be the first to go.
So I guess for Llew and Ben, what are you guys talking about before you guys, fall asleep? You guys are almost to Murdog. You guys have your plans, kind of where you're going to be heading. You guys talking about women. You guys talking about the mission. You guys talking about, what your next step's going to be.
I have to say, Ben, this adventuring stuff is quite much more of a thrill than I even thought it would be.
Yes, I guess as somebody that's lived his whole life essentially adventuring, as it were, it seems pretty mundane to me, but I surmise it's got its highs.
And can you believe it? I killed a vampire. I've never even seen a vampire before.
We don't even know if he's actually dead. And also, if you've never seen a vampire, I'm amazed that you were able to figure out the thing about the stake through his heart.
Well,
lucky guess, I surmise.
Well, I've done a fair amount of studying, and that's what all of the old legends say.
Oh. Sorry, I'm not much of a book reader.
It's interesting, because you'd think he would be with his demeanor. He's just a fancy person who studies books.
He's just fucking polite, okay?
He's just a polite guy.
Okay.
Anything else you guys gonna talk about, or is it time to snuggle up and go to bed?
I'm going to hit the hay
So
to
despite
to use the old adage.
Okay. Despite what Llew was saying, he actually is not accustomed to going to bed this early. So while Ben is trying to sleep, he's just going to kind of lay back and look up at the stars and sort of talk kind of to Ben, but really to no one in particular. Just like, because we were talking about his studies. I spent nearly 4 months on the ancient legends studying with the Grand Maester, and after that we moved on to ancient philosophy, and he just kind of trails on from that. And
Well, Ben's going to fall asleep early.
I mean, I assume you guys brought your horses over to the campsite.
Oh, naturally.
Well, we assumed as well. It didn't seem super important.
And he didn't even get a glass of this proper mead?
Oh, yeah, the mead we strapped to the horses. I forgot about that.
Disappointed in him.
yeah, he's actually just like really
Really pooped?
no, it's just like he's like really really hyped up that he
He's jazzed that he fucking stuck a stick into a dude.
This was the first time he was able to like seriously contribute, and he's feeling really good about it. So he wasn't even thinking about that.
Awesome. Well, you guys fall asleep. I assume Ben is up at first light.
Yep.
And Llew actually got to bed pretty early, so maybe he's waking up pretty early this morning, or is he going to sleep in?
As somebody that is definitely not an early to bed, early to rise person, I can confirm going to bed early and not being used to it is not going to help you get up earlier.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't wake up at first light, but I think maybe a little bit earlier than he normally does.
So, like, 10 o'clock?
No, I mean, I think probably like 8:30.
Sure.
They're sleeping on the ground.
Fuck it. Okay,
Sleeping on the ground, so it's not exactly
like
a
8
super
in the morning.
comfortable-
Too early for you there, Ben?
No, Ben was up at first light.
And we're gonna go back in time a little bit.
Gotta go back in time.
Ben has just woken up, gets up, stretches, and heads over towards Krohl.
Who then grabs him by the throat and strangles him because he's under control by the vampire again.
Oh, no.
And Krohl has been watching this vampire all night. What does he have to say?
Hey, Ben, if you took a pebble really hard at this vampire, you actually see his eye twitch.
Here, let me try.
Go ahead.
He picks up a pebble and he tosses it at the vampire.
This vampire has not moved all night.
He's just so still.
And just as the sun is rising and getting just over the tops of the trees, the first light beams start to shine in on the forest, and the first light beam hits this vampire right in the center of his forehead, and you just watch as the skin burns and it goes through his skin into his skull and starts scalding the tree behind him.
So I'm going to pull Bronson here. So in Toy Story, when Sid has the magnifying glass up to Woody and it starts burning the hole in his forehead, that's basically it right there.
And as the sun rises more and more, this vampire melts away into ash, and there's not much left behind.
Well, I guess I get my rope back, no problem.
Boy, am I glad I'm friggin'... I don't even know what I am, really. I'm just glad I'm not a vampire.
You're an undead dragonborn. Let's leave it at that.
Sounds best I got.
So, Ben is able to retrieve all 50 feet of his rope. It has a nice scarred, black,
burnt smell to it.
Fleshy,
gooey
nothing some good old mead draining on it won't fix.
You're just gonna throw it in the... You're gonna throw it in the barrel?
Nah, he'll wash it with some water when they find a river or something. When they get to the river... No, they just left the river. Fuck.
You're just...
When I get some water somewhere that's not his drinking water.
Rub it in the dirt.
Alright.
Rub it in Lou's face.
What's that smell? Ben, did you burn breakfast?
No, Llew, I haven't made breakfast yet. I'm also astounded that you're up before noon.
Since when does he cook your breakfast? Don't you normally get raw fish?
I like you more and more each day, Krohl.
Well, thank you.
No, Llew, it was the vampire. He burned up, and it left a scent and a scar if you were on my rope.
And I missed it?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, yes.
that's what happens when you're not used to getting up at a decent hour.
Oh, man.
It was quite satisfying.
So, are you guys going to make breakfast, or are you guys just going to take off?
We'll make breakfast, because Llew can't function otherwise.
All right, you guys still got some nice coals, but you got to stoke your coals to get if you want to get a fire started.
I'll stoke my coals. Oh.
Roll that.
Man.
Survival check, man.
Lew's gonna pour a glass of mead.
Gotta wake up.
That's gonna be 20 for survival.
Yeah, you are still a master fire maker, man. And you did not light the forest on fire.
Hi, I'm Ben Fietti, and this is how you cook great-ass fish for breakfast.
First, you stoke the fire.
So, are you making fish?
Did we have fish left? Like, what do we have for food? Am I gonna have to
You
scavenge
expect
or hunt?
me to know how much
Yes, we
food
caught fish.
you have?
I mean, we
We
caught fish.
I mean,
Yeah,
technically
did we
all
have...
we said is we have supplies. We didn't really specify, so they could be anything.
Okay, he makes
We have
breakfast.
beef jerky.
Llew is gonna start, they brought some dry goods. He's gonna start mixing up some, stuff to make biscuits.
Biscuits?
Yeah.
Alright, so Llew makes some biscuits, and as Llew is making some biscuits, Ben fries up some nice crispy bacon, and,
What about tomatoes?
Shut up!
you guys have a...
Damn it! We almost made it out of the tunnel without that Lord of the Rings reference.
And-
choked.
And you guys have a real nice breakfast. Alright, so, belly's full. You guys pack up camp, throw some dirt on your fire. Responsible campers.
The thing with and like all the stuff is like auto like closes. Oh man, like a little caravan. Holy cow.
Probably not.
No, yes. Ben is very responsible. He does put dirt on the fire to put it out.
Smokey's watching us from the woods.
Smokey, that's the thing where it points to
The steam coming off the campfire turns into a bear as it looks on approvingly and then floats away.
Just gives you a thumb up.
Only you can prevent.
What in the hell was that?
I haven't the slightest idea.
It was the spirit bear of the forest, I believe.
No, it wasn't.
No!
I'm Smokey!
Now, say here.
We've gone too meta.
We hit a vampire, now we gotta
We gotta
go.
reel back.
No.
Okay. So we've had breakfast, we've packed up.
Belly's full. You guys are packing up and taking off.
And the coconuts begin.
On the road again.
Alright. Very, very Monty Python of you. As you guys are on the road for a few hours, probably about 10 o'clock now, all of a sudden, first person to notice it is Ben, actually. He gets this... He feels like his stomach just drops. And there's just an immense darkness that he just senses the presence. And soon after, Krohl and Llew also have this same deep pit in their stomach, as though something is just utterly off around them.
Ben is going to have his hand readied on his short sword.
Kroll's gonna draw his great sword. Have it up.
Oh, so you're gonna show that you're gonna fight.
I think Llew just kind of rubs his chest. Do you feel that? It's cold almost.
I wouldn't know. I can't quite feel the air temperature anymore.
Yes, I felt it a while back. Not too far back. But I've been keeping a wary eye out since.
I'm going to try and do a perception check to figure out why I feel so off. That's an 8.
So my perception check for Ben is a 20 after you tell him what he perceives. So.
After Llew comments on just this immense coldness he feels, he starts looking around and hears some small ruffling of branches in the canopy, and he's not sure what it is until Ben points out the strangest colored raven. It has a slight red hint to it, as though its raven black has undertones of this deep emerald red, and it looks at you and cocks its head sideways, caws, and it's off.
My God,
And
that raven's bleeding.
Nevermore.
Oh, really? I was just going to make a joke about having blood or something.
As the raven leaves, do we still feel this presence?
after the raven flies off, you feel it for a few moments more, and then this feeling dissipates.
You know, they say that the raven is a sign of death, and I would just say that we should be wary.
Don't worry about it too much. I've died before. It's not too bad. But keep your eye out for sure.
So you've mentioned, but that's not what I meant.
That wasn't like any raven I've seen before.
Well, that's not the point there, Llew. The point is, ravens are signs of death, and especially if it's a wacko-looking raven, that's some crazy-ass death.
Ben, what's got you so uneasy today?
The raven!
Just take it easy there, boy.
Yes, relax. Would you like a glass of mead?
No, but I appreciate your offer.
After this small incident, the party continues on, heading east towards the border between Farland and Murdog, and I think right around noon, you guys see this border between these two countries. As you're approaching, you see big wooden walls spanning for maybe easily a mile each way. Not necessarily for any set kind of active protection, but something there that is just a safeguard in case it's needed. You guys walk up to this gate. It's just like the rest of the wall. 2 giant doors made of wood with spikes atop them, and above the gate there are some small guard posts.
Are the guard posts manned?
They are.
Okay.
Before we go any further, I think we should consider, are they trying to keep something out or keep something in?
I don't think we have anything to fear from the people of Murdog. We're good friends. They're our closest ally.
Yes, but the raven.
Oh, you're
Raven.
superstitious.
Come now. Nothing is wrong, Ben. You'll see.
Fine.
Hello there. Hello. Greetings.
Who goes there?
It is Llew Westaryn and my traveling companions.
Llew Westaryn, eh?
Yes.
The prince from Farland, yeah?
Yes, you've heard of me.
Oh, yeah. We'll be right down. He turns and runs down the stairs as these gates open.
Hello, good sir. Is all well today?
Oh, of course. What could I do for you?
We are on a quest of sorts going to the east, and we are hoping to travel through your land.
How far east?
Well, we're not quite sure. We believe somewhere in Vermore.
Vermore, eh? Well, can't say much about that place, but I wish you luck, my prince. Well, not my prince, but somebody's prince, right?
Of course, good sir, of course. And you know our two countries are so deeply intertwined. I like to think of you as something of my own people as well. Of course, we feel a certain bond to you.
Huh. Well, thanks. After talking with Llew, this guard, who is a half-orc, by the way, he stands aside and kind of motions you entree into the city of Tarnock. As you are able to see the inside of the city, you notice that it's very peculiar in the fact that the forest itself has been built around for this town. There are complete trees that are still standing and are parts of different structures of buildings. Some buildings are atop other buildings built on top of them or tied to these trees. And it has a sense as though the city is, in a sense, living. As you guys, as far as you can see, you see the forest inside the city of Tarnok and the great forest beyond the outer walls of Tarnok. Down the main strip of this town, you have your inn, have a few distilleries, but curiously, there's a large amount of bird traffic. There are eagles coming and going on the right side of this town. There's just eagles constantly flying in and different eagles flying out. The feathers flying around in the air, dropping down all over the place. And it actually is one of Tarnok's big monetary and economic staples is they are trainers of eagles for messaging and scouting. They will send eagles almost anywhere in the country of Vassanoka. As far as they go, they are known to be one of the best eagle training organizations that there is.
I don't know about you boys, but I think we should buy an eagle while we're here.
That's all fair and well if you would like to do that. Not my prerogative, though.
I suppose it's something we could look into, to be assured. I think Llew actually would, either way, would like to go talk to the bird trainers.
For sure. Just down the street a little bit on your right is the main entrance to this very long building. It's multiple stories. There's these tunnels that are all throughout this building. They're there for the birds so that from most any room in this building, there's a exit point for them. But right above the main door is a very large glass window that can be opened up in two sections. It's like a 4-panel window. And all 4 of these panels are turned sideways currently. And the door is just below it.
I guess I'm gonna go in.
As you walk in, you're greeted by this rather tall, about 6 foot tall half-elf. How do you do today?
Hello, my good sir. I was wondering if I could inquire about a bird with you.
Of course. And what are you looking for?
Well, I've noticed you have quite a few fine eagles here. But first I have a question. Do you have any knowledge of other birds?
I specialize in eagles. It's most of what I do, but I guess I have some knowledge regarding other bird species.
Well, you see, my companions and I encountered a peculiar red raven on the road into town today, and I didn't know who else to come talk to other than yourself in terms of bird expertise. I don't know if you have any information to shed on something like that.
It's very interesting. I can't say that I've ever seen a red raven, but I have read of different species that sometimes will morph into different colored ravens. There's legends of dragons taking on different forms as humans and birds. I've heard that demons will take on animal personas. I can't say much more other than myth and legend. But, and he puts his hand on your back and kind of turns you to the left, and on the side wall there are eagles in cages. As he's, showing you, there's eagles flying above your head to land on the counter to drop off a message. But he motions to these eagles in the cages to your left. We do have quite a fine selection of eagles here. These are all well trained. These ones, motioning to the eagles in front of you, these ones have been trained mainly for messaging. And he turns you around to the other side, to the right side of this room, and says, and these ones specialize in scouting. And then takes you towards the counter where he is going to stand behind the counter and ask you a few more questions about what you're looking for.
Welcome to Carl's Eagle dealership.
So, are you interested in an eagle today?
Indeed, sir, indeed. I have become very impressed with your skill in training these animals. I'm very interested.
Thank you. And do you have anything that you'd be looking for?
Do you have any eagles that, I think I'm looking for something with scouting abilities. Do you have any that are trained to respond well in combat?
Yes, we do have some combat eagles. However, most of them, we do have a rather small selection. Just as he's saying this, to the right of the counter, there is this cage set up. It may be another metal, but it's painted to have a nice shiny gold finish. And this black eagle with silver stripes on its back and silver on its face with a silver beak flies in through the window and lands in this bird cage. Oh, this is one of our finest warriors. She has been with us for a few years now and has been able to help us in quite a lot of ways. And if you want, you can go look at this eagle.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to go look at this eagle.
Luz walks up to this eagle. Is he gonna put his hand out? Is he gonna try and do something? Or
So I'd like to ask you, kind of a sort of a metagame thing. If I want to get an eagle, what does that give me in terms of, like, abilities?
Are these eagles considered just regular or giant?
they're giant eagles?
There are giant eagles.
I guess I'm just trying to, before I, like, go through, I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth getting an eagle that is, like, trained to fight, or if I should go with one that's, like, a scouting eagle.
I'll tell you that they're all eagles. None of them are giant eagles. But, as far as it goes, depending on what you pick, I will tell you how it's going to perform for scouting, messaging, or attacking. It has the capacity to attack, though I don't think combat should be your main focus. Perhaps down the road, when you've had more time with it and it's time to grow and accustom to you, perhaps, but I would say that
Sure.
your main focus shouldn't be on using it, like, in combat.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not just gonna, like, stand in the back and just launch my eagle all the time.
Right.
But
Beyblade Eagle.
I thought it could be cool to have for, like, sneak attacks and stuff, you know?
Right.
Go, Pidgeotto.
Like, you know, while I'm in the middle of a fight, he swings in or whatever. But, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think Lou is actually just really impressed with this eagle that the guy showed him with the black with the silver. It's just like...
You haven't even seen this eagle yet, man. You don't know. It just flew in.
Well, you told me about it.
I told you what it looked like.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's impressed with it, so he's going to go over and take a look.
Okay. I thought you were saying he was just going to put money down. I was like, heck, bro. So, as Lou walks over, roll animal handling for me.
16.
As Lou walks over towards this eagle, it tilts its head and looks at him and kind of moves its beak and kind of squawks a little bit. As Lou puts his hand out towards the bird, it actually snips his finger. Doesn't draw blood or really do anything other than, a little pinch. And as Lou is pulling his hand back and kind of reeling back, this eagle actually flies forward and mounts herself right on Lou's shoulder. And then kind of turns its head and looks down at Lou, right in the eyes.
Lou, I think, is going to try and reach his hand out again and sort of try to, like, stroke her head a little bit.
Puts her head down and lets Lou, give her a few scratches before kind of flying up and landing on this hanging chandelier that's in the center of the room looking down at this main desk.
This is quite an impressive bird.
Well, thank you.
How much for this one?
He looks up at the eagle, and he actually kind of chuckles. 20 gold pieces.
I'll take her.
Well, it's quite a pleasure doing business with you. After Llew has handed him the gold pieces, he bends down and grabs some stuff from underneath his main desk and gives Llew a few essentials kind of for eagle care, and also, working with an eagle, a training glove, gives him some information, says, hey, this eagle likes this, I'll let you figure that out or decide what you want to do with its, favorite foods and stuff, if you want to do that.
Okay.
But,
The flesh of its enemies.
Gives Llew a little information about his eagle. Do you have any more business with this, sir?
No, I think that's going to be it.
Alright. As Llew turns to exit, as he's getting close to the door, this eagle comes and lands on his shoulder again as he opens the door and walks out into the street.
Okay. So, to my other two companions, were you guys waiting for me outside, or did you guys go off and do other stuff?
I guess I was looking for room and board, I suppose, if we're going to stay here the night or something. I don't know what we're doing here, if we're just passing through, if we're staying, so... I guess I'm waiting outside the building for you to devise plans.
I mean, Ben is at your leisure. He's also still got that spooked feeling about the ravens, so...
Sure.
He's just there.
Look, Krohl, I've gotten us a bird.
Well, outstanding! Outstanding indeed! What'd you call it?
You know what? I haven't decided on a name yet. I'm still looking for something that suits her.
Indeed.
Was it really necessary to get her?
Well, I think it could be useful to have an eagle with us.
All right.
I mean, it's bigger than a raven. It could take that raven out next time we see it.
Plus the potential to scout out enemies that we might not be seeing.
Try to use your imagination, Ben.
So in terms of me, the only other thing that I'd like to do is there a store where I could get some sort of piece of... So basically, I want to get... I'm wearing chainmail right now, but since I have this bird, I'd like to get something like a leather piece to go over the top of my chainmail on the one shoulder, so that the bird has somewhere to sit on my shoulder.
For sure. I think that just down the street, you're going to be able to find a tanner.
Okay.
So you walk in, you see this big Goliath man standing behind his work table, has leather on the table, leather on the walls, different pieces of clothing hung up. I mean, basically the inside of this building is practically the inside of a cow. So,
It's just leather everywhere, wall to wall.
What could I do for you?
Yes, hello, good sir. I have just recently purchased this eagle, and I'm in need of some sort of a perch for my shoulder so that he can get a good purchase.
Sure. He actually motions for you to stand up on a small raised platform in front of a few mirrors.
Okay.
Pulls out a piece of light tan leather, well polished and very beautiful. Puts it on Lew's left shoulder, right shoulder?
Yeah, Lew's left-handed, so he's gonna put it on his right shoulder so that he can have his sword arm free.
Sure. So he drapes this piece of material over Lew's right shoulder, makes a few measurements, and draws on the leather in a few places. Pulls it off. So I'm gonna take this and make a small strap that you can put under your armpit, and should hold it secure.
Thank you, sir. And how long do you think this will take you?
An hour or two.
Very good. And I'm actually gonna... did you guys come inside with me, or is the other two still outside?
Well, I'm not looking for armor. I actually have something else I want to do.
I guess Ben's in there with him.
Okay. Ben, are you in need of anything else here?
I mean, I guess if you're all expecting me to be a bit stealthier, I should probably switch out my scale mill for a breastplate.
Alright. And so I'm gonna have this guy, I guess, take care of Ben, too.
He's a tanner, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you not getting leather armor?
No.
Okay, yeah, this is
leather is gonna drop my dex like a rock.
Okay, yeah, this is the...
How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Well, not like a rock. It's gonna drop
What are
it
you wearing
2.
right now, Rick?
Scale mail.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna drop me by 2.
By 2.
Yeah, it'll drop.
Oh, God.
It'll
yeah,
drop
you
me
would.
from 17
Wow,
ace.
scale mail does have a high dex modifier.
Yeah. So I'm looking to get a breastplate because it's the same stat but without the disadvantage on stealth.
Okay. So you're not getting anything here?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's look for a smith.
Nope.
I'll stick my head outside. Krohl, do you need anything from the tanners? A hat, perhaps?
Well, I'm not too keen on hats, actually, but, I could certainly use a different weapon. I only got my sword.
Ben's gonna lean over to Llew. He's still inside, so Krohl can't really see him when he's there. He's gonna say, I think it'd be really fun to see him in a hat with his dragonborn head.
Okay,
Can I do a perception check to see if I heard that?
Why
He
not?
whispered it in his ear. Do you have
That's a nat 20.
fucking superhuman hearing?
It's a fucking dragon.
Super dragonborn hearing?
Krohl has no idea what you two just said, but he knows for a fact that you guys are talking about him.
Two mumbling behind my back.
Yes, Krohl, we'll look into weapons for you at the smith.
Well, outstanding.
Alright, so I guess, I'm gonna go back in and, I guess I need to pay this guy so he can get to work here.
Oh, it's gonna be... He looks down at the material, kind of looks at the different material that things he's gonna need to use, and the labor, and says, I think 10 gold pieces would be a fair price.
Alright, here you are, sir.
No bartering. Thank you.
You fool! You
Scrub.
didn't haggle the price!
I mean, it's only 10 gold pieces.
Scrub it
If
down.
it was a little bit higher, he might have.
Me and my daddy's money.
You
All
can
right.
hit up any bank and get
You
a
know-
friggin' eagle.
Llew, while we're at the smith's, I should see if I could exchange or get my short swords adjusted to be long swords.
That might not be a bad thing if you feel that you need a little bit more reach.
Well, I mean, then I could look like even more of a fucking badass. Thank you very much.
Alright, so I guess we're going to the smith now.
Alright.
It's a doobity-doobity-dee.
As you walk in, you see in front of you a 3.5 foot tall, extremely well built gnome. And he greets you. Oi, I'm Bayo. What can I do you for?
Hello, yes, my companions are in need of some new equipment.
Oh, what can I get you?
After you, Krohl.
You wouldn't have to make tridents here, would you?
No. But
Damn it!
Get wrecked.
I can make you one.
That would be splendid if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. And for you?
Well, I'm looking for a few things, actually. I would like to either trade in or get my short swords adjusted or something. I want a couple of long swords instead. And I'm also looking to swap out my armor so I can be a bit more stealthier.
Ooh, well, you got some nice scales. If you're willing to do a trade, I can do the swords for free.
That sounds like a good deal.
And breastplate's gonna be well, you're a pretty. It's gonna be a 15 gold pieces.
All right, cool.
Are you getting a breastplate?
Yeah, breastplate was what I was looking at.
Okay.
So this gnome grabs a small ladder, about 5 feet tall or so, and walks that over next to Ben and sets it up, and grabs a pre-made breastplate that's already banged out in the rough shape, and yanks it up this ladder and throws it on Ben's chest. Looks at it, sees how it fits. Oh, I can have this ready for you in about 3 hours.
Sounds fair. I don't think we're going to be doing much in 3 hours.
And still standing on the top step of this 5 foot ladder, so about 8 feet tall now, looks over at Krohl.
Look at you, small people.
And how tall are you?
I'm 6'6" here, see?
Well, your trident will be ready in the morning?
Do I get the long swords right away, or am I waiting on those as well?
You gave your trade mail up. And
The scale mail, yeah.
Yeah, it's the scale mail up, and he's giving you
Okay,
these
so
two
I have
long
the
swords.
2 long swords. Man, I'm getting away with a steal. I want to tell everybody about this dude. Like, go to this fucker. He's the best.
He gonna be getting the...
Shout out. Throw him up on the gram.
Bayo!
Tell about him on Snapchat, y'all.
Throw out a couple of birds, send out the tweet.
Bayo, the Tarnak Smith.
B-A-O.
Bayo.
Bayo.
B-A-Y-O.
Bayo.
Yep, so tells Krohl that he can have his trident ready for him the next day.
Okay, so, real quick, because while I'm thinking of this. So he's a gnome?
Yes.
Okay, and then we saw a half-orc, right? At the gate? Okay. And what was the race of the Tanner?
Tanner was a Goliath.
What's the Goliath's size class? Is it medium or large?
Oh, it's
I'd imagine it's large.
Goliath.
Okay, so I can't do a Goliath.
This gnome gets down off the ladder and then goes behind his counter and looks at Krohl. I can do this for 30 gold pieces.
Kroll's gonna look in his little money bag and then give a sidelong look to his pal Llew over there. Hey, buddy there, pal of mine. Yeah, could you lend me 10 gold pieces?
Good sir, would you perhaps be able to do it for 20 gold pieces?
And we'll refer you to everyone we come across in this entire adventure. You'll be known across the land as the greatest smith of all time in history.
I will throw you up on the gram and also on the Snapchats and the Facebooks. Everyone will know your fucking
Birds
name.
will be tweeting about you everywhere.
We'll write you down in the Book of Faces.
I love this campaign.
Well,
Come on, be a pal.
25.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, but 25 it is. Lew's just gonna hand this guy 25 gold pieces, because I know Krohl doesn't really have a whole lot of money.
You sure are a pal.
Thank you. I'll have it all ready in the morning. Bayo jumps down from his counter and walks to the back of the shop to get started on these new requests.
In a world of utter randomness, one podcast stood out from the bunch. And it was The Amazing World of Talking Shiz. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Yeah, it's just mainly randomness.
And focus
It's
is
definitely
not being
not there.
focused on at all.
No. Our podcast is definitely no theme at all. It's literally random and talk about literally everything and throwing in random jokes at any given time.
We're on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So go ahead, tune in. New episodes weekly.
And we're international.
International.
Very,
Yes.
very well. So tune in. Follow us on Twitter. See you there.
Hey all, RJ here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of the Vassanoka Adventures. Just the usual housekeeping stuff before we get to the second half of the episode. If you are on Twitch, we'd super appreciate you dropping a follow on our Twitch channel, Realms Nerds, REALMSNERDS, as we're only a few followers away from reaching our 50 follower goal. Once we reach 50 follows and have a high enough average viewer count, we can start uploading episodes of the podcast for people to listen to straight through the Twitch platform. If you're on social media, you can follow us via Twitter, Facebook, and or Instagram, all of them with the same username as over on Twitch, Realms Nerds, REALMSNERDS. When you make a post about the show on social media, we ask that you include the hashtag Realms Nerds, same spelling, to help others find our show. We also have a Discord community group for Realms and Nerds and all of our other homebrew entertainment projects for fans to hang out and chat in. You can find a link to that in the episode description. If you know anyone who you think might also like the show, definitely let them know about it. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to introduce new listeners to the show. Thank you to all of you who have taken the time to listen to our show already. We really appreciate you. Thanks to our friend Kyle for composing our main theme, and thanks to Justin of the Lit Gaming Arena podcast for your rendition of the theme used in this campaign. Now, let's get back into episode 3 of the Vassanoka Adventures.
Hi everyone, this is Mark, the DM for Stranger Damies. What is Stranger Damies, you ask? Well, we're just a bunch of first-time D&D players exploring the world of Tal'Dorei 30 years after the events of the Coma Conclave, which was made famous on Critical Role. Join us every week as we roll some dice, make some mistakes, but most importantly, we have fun. New episodes air every Wednesday at strangerdamies.podbean.com or on your favorite podcast streaming app. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Stranger Damies. And is it Wednesday yet?
So, one other thing. Is there an alchemist in this town?
There is not really an alchemist. There are a few...
Are there herbalists?
there's a few nutcases who
It's always the nutcases.
practice magic, but I don't know if I'd consider them alchemists.
Okay. So there's not really anywhere that I could try to buy, like, health potions or anything.
No, not really.
Okay.
You can try and make them yourself.
With what?
See how that goes.
Yeah, I don't...
Capture a couple fairies in a bottle and mush them together and create juice?
Wow, that got dark. Well, I guess if I can't buy any health potions, I don't really have anything else I need.
We're hitting up the local inn.
Yeah, I guess we could probably hit up the inn for a few hours while we're waiting for the stuff to be ready.
Or a bar. Doesn't really matter. We don't have to stay overnight.
Well,
To the tavern!
you do.
Yeah, we have to stay
Oh, that's
overnight.
what, I thought it was 3 hours. Sorry, that's his swords, isn't it?
Oh, wait, how long are we
Everything
waiting
will
on
be
that
ready
train?
in the morning, but you are like
Oh, okay.
3 hours.
Yeah, no, that's no... If we're waiting for the
To
morning...
the
then-
inn!
To the inn, hurrah.
Hurrah!
Alright. We go to the inn.
All right. This is Obadiah's family hotel.
Fuck, what a name.
Obadiah's Family Hotel.
No, there actually is like 8... There's like 8 ellipses in there. Obadiah's family...
Hotel.
Damn it.
Alright.
That's a keeper.
That's a keeper, eh?
That's a keeper right
Oh,
there.
right there, yeah.
Okay. I'm going in there.
All right. And
Who dives in head first?
Krohl will tie up the horses and then go in.
Yeah, Ben
I
will
want to
help.
help for like stable.
Ben is going to figure out a place to put the horses and help tie them up as well.
All right.
Okay. So I guess you guys... Well, you guys are...
Ben,
with the horses.
Lou's going to secure us a
yeah.
spot in the inn.
I'll see about securing some rooms.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Alright, so I'm gonna go in, look for somebody that looks like their name is Obadiah, I guess.
Obadiah's
Okay.
stain.
How ironic, Tony.
Knew you were going to do that at some point.
Standing behind the bar is a half Goliath, actually.
What an interbreeding.
What size is a half Goliath? Damn it.
Medium.
Hell
Hey.
yeah.
Which half of him is a Goliath? The top half or the bottom half?
The important half or the unimportant half?
He's all half human and all half
It's
Goliath.
left and right.
I'm glad you clarified that. Alright.
It's like
His
Two-Face.
proportions are distorted.
Anyways, continue.
Big black brimmed hat on, putting a few drinks away and cleaning some glasses when you walk in.
Hello, Obadiah, I assume.
Hey, pleasure.
My companions and I would like to secure a few rooms for tonight.
Oh, how many do you need?
3 rooms, if you don't mind.
Let's see what I got here. I got a 2 singles and a double. Will that work?
Perfect.
Not big enough.
All right.
Ben will take the double.
Reaches under the counter, grabs a few keys, and puts them on the counter. And can I get anything for you, sir?
You know what? I'm going to go and stow my things in the room, but I'll be back.
I'm sure you will. And a name for the tab, sir.
That will be Llew Westaryn.
Llew Westaryn. You're Robert's son, yeah?
Yes, yes. Do you know my father?
Oh, he and Ajax used to be best buds, before he... Well, yeah. It's nothing. Yes, I know your father.
Well, I'm glad to meet you, sir. I will be back shortly.
I'm sure you will.
Alright, so I'm gonna go up and put my things in the double room.
There are like 2 twin-sized beds, basically.
Okay. Can I push them together?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to move the little table between them first.
I do that.
Can you roll strength check for me?
Critical fail, come on.
That's a 21.
When it comes to getting laid, his man muscles are activated, and he just freaking throws this thing
He
across
just
the
like
room.
grabs it with his pinky and drags and lifts it up and moves it across the room.
Meanwhile,
At the Hall of Justice!
we go to Ben and Krohl, who have the horses.
Tying them up in a stable, or finding a stable, I guess.
Yeah,
Do we find a stable nearby?
There's a stable right behind Obadiah's family hotel.
You were right, Kroll. I just checked behind there, and they do have a stable here to keep our horses at Obadiah's family hotel.
Well, that's splendid.
Well,
Let's tie them up and go inside.
all right, and we do that.
When you walk up to the stables, there's a young human stable boy there who takes...
Fuck out my way, punk.
Whoa!
Could I
Excuse
take...
me, that was RJ voice.
So much for being cool and collected.
Could I take your horses, sir?
Well, absolutely. That'd be splendid of you.
Thanks. Takes them and walks them down and puts them in 3 different stalls and comes back. You're all set.
Well, thanks, pal.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.
I guess we traipsy over to
We go
inside
back
of the place.
There is a back door, so if you just want to go in the back,
We're going in the back door.
you know.
All right.
go
Well,
around the front.
is like a backdoor entrance like that's intended for?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because
not
it's
some
in
sketchy-
actual historical situations, like entertainers who come through the back door because they weren't deemed worthy enough to come through the front because everybody came in the front. But I know this is like a little town, so okay. Yeah, we go in the door.
We are worms! We are worms!
All right. Hercules references aside.
And Lou, you were just putting your stuff up in the room and coming back down.
Okay. As I
Correct. Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's not already swinging from the chandelier on his 5th glass of mead?
I can swing from the chandelier.
Okay.
Big glass of mead.
Yeah, so, right as you guys are entering through the back door, Lou is just coming down the stairs and meets you guys at the base by the bar.
Oh, it's you.
Hello, everything with the horses go well?
Fine and dandy.
What he said.
As I'm going to hand each one of them a key to their respective rooms. I've already taken care of the rooms. You should be good to go.
Solid.
Very fine.
What time of day is it right now?
You guys got into the town at noon. By the time you're done running your errands and going from shop to shop, it's 1:30.
Shit,
We are quick.
You guys have a few more hours.
Kroll's gonna walk the town.
Walk to town.
Ben's gonna actually check out that Eagle place.
Okay.
So what's the range as far as, like, if I'm going to send messages with him,
If I'm
or with her, I'm sorry. If I'm going to send messages with her, what's the range?
So, as far as messaging goes, you can give a message to your eagle, and they can send that message to just about any town, anywhere across Vassanoka. It has been there before. This eagle is well suited and well learnt in the different places on the continent. As far as like people go, if you have seen or like spoken with a specific person with your eagle, that eagle is able to track that person down and deliver a message personally to them.
And kill.
The other thing that your eagle is capable of is scouting. It has fairly good expression, and if you ask it to find information out about a certain area, it will come back to you and, give you more or less if it's good or bad, don't go bad.
If you think about it, the eagle could pick up objects from where it's been. So if there's just death in the path, it could pick up some rotted piece of flesh,
exactly,
which would tell us what's up.
So with scouting, I can get essentially what you're telling me is I'll get more of a general sense. Not there's 8 enemies a half mile away. At least to start with.
I mean, yeah, I'll say to start with. As you get to know your eagle more and learn to give your eagle more specific instruction, I think that it's definitely going to be possible for you to be able to get more information from it.
Okay.
So, what is Llew going to do? I know Krohl's walking the town, and Ben is going to check out this eagle place.
Yeah, well, before he goes to the bar, Llew would like to write a letter to his father. Well, addressed to his father and to the general that's in charge of the military.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to detail to them that along our trip, we've seen several different sort of fiends, and that I think that maybe it would be wise to increase patrols in that area to protect the border.
Okay.
And then I'm going to seal that letter up, attach it to my eagle, and tell him where to go.
Where are you telling her to go?
All right, girl. Carry this to the royal palace at Westport.
You hear a small chirp, and a small kind of head bob, and she flaps her wings and is off, heading back west towards Westport. Meanwhile, Ben, you are going back over to this eagle
Ed's used eagle shop.
The eagle shop.
Or, sorry, Ed's used Ealer. Ed's used Eagle dealership.
Yep.
We're retconning the name of this place.
So Ben walks in the door and is going to look around at all the different eagles on display.
As you walk in,
flying around or whatever.
This half elf, same one that helped Llew, walks forward. What could I do for you today, sir?
I was just interested in checking the place out. I had, my liege was in here earlier, my friend Llew. He came and bought an eagle, I believe.
Of course.
I'm not sure if I'm in the business of seeking out a pet or compatriot in the bird department. Just more curiosity. I do have a couple questions. Do you have any owls?
God.
We specialize in eagles,
Okay.
but if you gave me a longer time clock, I very well could train an owl for you.
I don't know if I need one. It was more just curiosity. However, I do have a bit more of a pressing matter. On our way here into town, we seem to have run into I don't think it was an eagle. In fact, I believe it was a raven. It seemed fairly similar to a red-winged blackbird. It had red parts on its feathers and all over.
Yes, your friend Llew mentioned this and asked me of it. I'm afraid, just as I told him, there's not much that I can tell you other than myth and legend pertaining to odd-colored ravens. I wish I could be of more help, really, but...
Do you know of anybody that may be able to get me more information? Or is this about the best place to find information on birds in town?
There is a scribe down the road who has quite a large selection of literature. I'm sure that if you would like to read some of these different myths or stories, then he probably will have something for you.
Well, I appreciate your service. One more question, more back to my curiosity.
Of course.
How much do you typically loan or sell your birds for, in case I do ever have the chance to come back and procure one?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. He motions to the scouting birds and tells you that they're roughly somewhere between 30 and 40 gold pieces, and says that messaging birds normally are a little bit cheaper just because they fly rather straight and continuous routes from city to city, and normally about 15 to 25 gold pieces, and that their hunting birds are normally somewhere in like the 50 to 60 gold piece range.
Makes sense. Well, I appreciate your time, and I believe I will go see about that scribe. You said lives down the road is where I can find him?
Yes. Just down the road on your left.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Of course. Any service to you.
And Ben is now going to head towards that scribe boy.
Yep. Go down the road, and on your left, just like he said, there is a shop called Eric Knows a Lot. And Eric is spelled AirYck.
All right. Ben enters the building.
Why, hello there! What could I do you for?
Greetings. I was directed here from the Eagle shop establishment.
Quentin!
Yes, Quentin. Fuck, that's a great name. Yes, Quentin. I do apologize. I did not catch his name. I
Spit
believe.
it out, boy. What can I do you for?
He directed me here. I'm searching for anything that might help me with a raven that I saw on the way into town. It was unusual. It had red parts all over its feathers, red coloring, I mean.
And this raven, was it of peculiar size?
It didn't seem out of the ordinary size-wise, just the fact that it had red coloring, like I said, all over its plumage and its feathers.
And could this red have been blood, or a paint of some kind, or was it part of the feathers?
I believe it was part of the feathers, but it wasn't very clear. We were traveling underneath, and it was atop the trees, and flew away fairly soon after we saw it. The only other thing is that we all had a sense of foreboding or an uneasy feeling in the pits of our stomach when we were near it.
Very well. And turns around and consults this giant bookcase that is behind him, and off on the other side of the wall. There are books on the floor, books on his desk.
Fucking Merlin's.
As he scrolls around, running around, looking at different titles of books, and finally pulls one off the shelf and puts it down in front of Ben. This is a old legend of demons that took shape of animals and terrorized lands. I haven't read it in years.
Well, I guess I shall take a look if that's your best bet as to what it may be.
Well, I can't say, but, sir, I will need your signature, and,
Fucking library sign out. Yes. Shit, yeah. Alright,
grabs this document from behind his seat where he was seated and, puts it in front of Ben and puts down some ink and a quill.
Alright, Ben signs on the line or whatever.
Does he just sign Ben?
That's his name.
Alright.
Don't wear it out.
Yes, if you could bring this back tomorrow?
Oh, certainly, that shall be no problem. I've got some errands to run tomorrow anyways.
Very good. I shall see you then.
Ben's gonna head back to Le Tavern. Hotel.
And, while all of
You'll
this
never
was
know.
happening, Kroll is walking around the town
Making
of
my way down.
Tarnock. Are you looking for anything in particular, or...
Just kind of seeing the sights, really. He's never been here before, so he's just taking in what the scenery's like, maybe seeing what the town folk are like, the lay of the town. He's very fascinated by these tree houses. He's never seen them before.
Yeah, so, as he's walking down the streets, like I said before, this town is very much built into the forest rather than built around the forest or, removing the forest entirely. Some houses are elevated off the ground and others are built on the ground. There's all kinds of people doing different laboring. There's large populations of humans in this area. There are some half-orcs. You see some, you've already seen a few Goliaths and a half-Goliath. But for the most part, I would say, humans are probably the predominant race around here. As you get into, kind of the outskirts of the town, there's less buildings and, more pens kind of set up for different livestock. And, you actually are able to glimpse, a young mother and her child. The mother you are able to pertain as a druid after you see this small boy playing with a sheep, and then suddenly there's a young woman standing in front of you, and you are able to kind of pertain that, like this town, the people here care for the nature and have learned to accept the nature into their lifestyle and the fact that they need to preserve it. Other than that, I don't think that there's too much more going on. You don't really see anything that really catches your eye, anything sketchy or weird.
All right. Solid. Yeah, I go back to the inn.
Okay. Well, Lou's already there, obviously.
Natch.
Let's get out of here, otherwise this game of D&D is just going to turn into a Lou spending money simulator.
Alrighty. You guys, all are back in the hotel as night falls, and I think you guys have a nice hot dinner downstairs, during which Lou's eagle comes in through a side window and lands next to him on the table, and
We don't serve their kind here.
and goes to peck at a few pieces of meat that are on Lou's plate. Is Lou is he gracious or is he mean?
Yeah, Lou actually ordered some, he got some barbecue for dinner. So I'm actually gonna pull off, some of the bones still have a little bit of meat on them.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna set those over to the side so he can pick the pieces of meat off the bones.
Sheep.
A sheep. Damn it.
Lou, your new friend seems to be a bit peckish.
Well, she did just fly all the way back home and back here again. I imagine that's quite a...
And I bet her arms are tired.
Do birds really have arms, though?
As a matter of fact, they do not.
It was more of a joke, Lou.
Anyways, did she bring anything back?
She did.
She dropped a dead mouse on your head.
She's expecting
All
a
right.
treat for that.
With her is a letter in return from King Robert that says, Dear Lou, I'm glad that you have found the adventure you were looking for, and I am very glad that you sent this message back to me. I will indeed increase the patrols searching for fiends and evil of the sort. If you get any more news, please send it with haste. Love, Dad.
Love El Padre.
I don't think Lou has that spell, though.
What spell?
Huh?
Haste.
Wow, really?
Good one.
That's a nice
Thanks, I spent about 2 seconds on it.
He definitely doesn't have haste in waking up or in the bedroom.
Oh.
I say there are times
There's
when
the
haste is
fucking
not.
door.
After that, I think that after dinner, you all head upstairs and
That is
hit
correct.
the hay, yeah?
That is not correct.
Not correct.
Sort of.
Well,
Kroll's gonna bring a bale of hay up with him and hit it all night long.
So Ben actually, when he got back to the inn before dinner time, because I imagine the whole going to Quentin's and then going to, what was his name, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine that didn't take terribly long, so he probably, I imagine Ben went back and went up to his room and was reading, and then continued reading after dinner was over.
All right.
Before he retired.
He's a bookworm.
He's still going to go to bed at a fairly decent time because, early to bed, early to rise.
For sure.
alright. Is Llew able to take anybody up with him?
Is Lew's bedroom, on the other side of the wall from Ben's bedroom? Is this going to be hell?
Probably.
Do you think
Shit.
Ben would be used to this by now?
Ben doesn't sleep next door at the castle.
I guess roll a charisma check.
Okay. No,
Fuck.
that's
no.
a 3.
Yeah!
Oh,
He gets
shit.
thrown out!
As Llew is sitting at a table in the bottom floor of this hotel, he puts his eye on a young lady that has just walked in and sat down across the way. And just as he's getting up to go and talk to her, his eagle actually jumps up off the table and flies right in front of his face and kind of nudges him back into his seat.
Blocked by an eagle.
Oh man, you
and
really...
then
You should never.
and
block
then
that.
lands back on the table, looks at Llew and turns its head to the side, kind of squawks at him.
Well, it appears you've got a new friend there who's not too interested in seeing other women with you.
Oh, well. Alright. Well, I'm going to head upstairs. Maybe your luck will be better than
I'm
mine.
crying to a pillow.
So Llew is gonna go over to the bar and order, he's gonna get basically I don't know if they have a pitcher of meat or whatever, but just a lot, something big that he can take up with it.
And drink his sorrows away.
A real Joan.
And
Red
also, some, a bowl of peanuts. He's gonna take that up with him. The peanuts are for the bird.
Alright.
Wow.
Because she
All right.
likes peanuts.
Oh.
An eagle that likes peanuts.
Well, I could snip out them out of the comics if you'd like.
Really?
All right. 1 pint of my finest brew and a bowl of peanuts.
For one sad boy and his bird.
Could I get you anything else, son?
I think that'll be all for tonight.
Have a good one.
You know, if you give her those peanuts, you're just rewarding cock blocking here.
Oh, shut up, Krohl. And I'm gonna head upstairs.
Okay. And we already know that Ben's already gone upstairs.
To
And
do some
Krohl,
reading.
is Krohl gonna just stay?
Kroll's gonna see if he can pick that woman up that he failed with.
Oh.
Sneak up after he disappears.
All right. Well, let's roll a charisma check.
That. Just straight up charisma?
Yeah.
That's a 21.
All right. Krohl walks over to this same girl that Llew had his eye on, and as he gets close, she actually turns and sees him coming, and kind of flips her hair and sits up.
I get the feeling you're into Dragonborns there.
I mean,
Have you ever actually been with a Dragonborn?
no.
Wow. Allow me to introduce you to the experience. Would you care to join me for a nightcap, perhaps?
Well, sure.
And he takes her up to his room.
I think Krohl has a good night. You guys all turn in for the night, and next morning, Llew is up.
Earlier than I'm sure he would like.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, he's up fairly early.
And Ben?
Well, Ben's early to sleep, early to rise. He's got shit to do today.
Of course.
He's going to do a little bit more reading before he returns the book, too.
Okay. In the morning, after doing a little more reading, Ben gets up and returns to Eric's shop. And he also is great believer in the early to bed, early to rise.
My
just
man.
like Ben. And Ben walks in. Oh, you're back, Gay!
Yes, I appreciate you loaning me this book. I found it fairly interesting.
Did it answer any of your questions?
I don't know, did it?
Let's do a
Yeah, this is a dice rolling game.
Insight.
16.
Yeah, so for the most part, Ben learned what Eric had told him, and it's a story, a myth, as far as Ben is led to believe, of people who were able to turn into animals due to a outside force. It's unclear to whether or not this was some dark spirit, or if this was their, attunement with nature, or if this was some god's doing. So, Ben just returns the book, and did it answer any of your questions?
That is yet to be determined. It definitely gave me insight on possibilities.
Glad it could give you some insight. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Have a very nice day.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Alright, Ben's skadoodling. We're gonna get our good shit now.
Alright. Ben, are you guys all gonna go to the Tanner and Smith together, or are you just gonna stop in early in the morning and pick up your breastplate?
Isn't the...
We might as well stick together.
I was saying, weren't we all... I thought we weren't all together right there?
No, that was
okay.
morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to the... Because I imagine we'll just hit up that dude, on our way out or whatever, so... or at least I should have Krohl kill 2 ravens with 1 stone,
Alright. Well, I guess for my part, I don't really have a whole lot to do. So, I'm just gonna pack my stuff up and get ready to go.
Okay.
Krohl's gonna get his trident.
So you guys are all ready, packed up, and ready to leave this hotel.
Yeah. I guess I gotta settle up for the tab here.
Okay. And...
Alright, so I'll come down and head over to the bar. Well, hello, sir. It looks like we're going to be moving on now.
Very well. Do you need anything for the road?
I think we're fine. I'll settle up with you for the bill.
Oh, don't worry about it, kid. It's on the house.
Well, that's incredibly generous of you.
Must be nice having a reputation.
Yeah.
Tell your father that Obadiah sends his regards.
I will indeed. But since it doesn't appear that my compatriots are quite ready to go yet, and I'll put, 5 gold pieces down on the bar, maybe I'll have a whiskey before we get going.
That's what I thought. Pours a nice 2-finger glass. Neat.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna drink that while I'm waiting for Ben to get back from his library visit.
Okay. Yeah, so Ben returns back to the hotel.
Llew, you're a bit redder on the eyes. You don't look like you've slept well.
On the contrary, I actually had a wonderful night of sleep.
Hmm.
It's got an eagle to keep him company.
It was... My bed was a little bit colder than I'm used to, but it was a good night of sleep nonetheless.
Yes, I was surprised that I wasn't kept up later than I would have liked.
Well, what can I say, Ben? I'm a very considerate person.
Yes, that you are, my liege. And Ben's gonna go gather his shit.
Alright, Ben comes back downstairs, and I think the 3 of you are all ready to head out, correct?
Yupperoni noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, as you walk out, Obadiah gives you a wave. Make sure to come again.
Absolutely, and thank you again for your hospitality.
Not a problem. And out you guys go down the street. First stop is the Tanner. Walk in.
Well, I got this done for you.
And throws this nice leather piece over Lew's right shoulder with beautiful stitching along the sides, and down to a strap that is going to, it goes both around his armpit and around his chest so that it stays pretty secure.
Okay. And then once I got it strapped in, so I had my eagle sitting on my arm while I was putting it on, and after I get this, I kind of tap on my shoulder and give a little whistle.
Yeah, she jumps right up and kind of claws go in and out of this soft leather as she kind of makes herself at home there.
All right, and so after I've kind of determined that my eagle is gonna, that this works well for her, your craftsmanship is very well done. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, Llew, now with that bird on your shoulder, you almost look like a real adventurer.
Well, thank you, Ben.
And
I guess we're gonna get out of here.
All right, and as you look at the tanner, just down the road is the smith shop, and you walk in. On the table as you walk in is actually Krohl's trident in its full glory.
Doesn't it look sick?
It stands at it's 6'3". The actual trident are half foot, in length. The two side ones are a bit longer than the middle one, and it has some nice etching down the side of it, and very well made.
She is beautiful.
Oh, your breastplate, yeah?
Yes, the breastplate.
Bayo walks to the back and hauls back this big chest plate and walks up and throws it on his counter. There you go.
All right, Ben's going to try it on and see how it fits.
How's she fit?
Pretty nicely. You definitely got the measurements better than a lot of other smiths I've worked with. I applaud your work. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem.
All right, and then we bid him I bid him farewell. Unless we're done here.
I was just waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Carl's ready to go.
Okay.
Guys, say your goodbyes.
Is there, by the way, real quick, is there a general store kind of like on the way out of town?
He's got to hit up the party store.
I mean, what are you looking for?
Llew just wants to swing in and buy a big bag of peanuts.
There is definitely a small market. Not a small market, but there's, people with different, they're selling different goods in the city that I'm sure you can stop in and buy some peanuts.
Okay. Yeah. He, just kind of on the way out of town, swing in there and, just get a bag of peanuts.
Cost you, 2 gold pieces.
Okay. So that's the last thing that he wanted to grab
You
here.
frivolous spender.
Not frivolous.
2 gold pieces on peanuts.
Such a thing has never been heard of.
Hey, it's a big bag.
And as our adventurers are just about finishing up, they head back to the stables to get their horses, mount up, and are continuing east on this Builder's Road towards Lochmar as the sun is just starting to get over the tops of the trees and just about perfect time to start an adventure for the day.